Okay, good morning. Welcome to
FamilyMath1145.
good evening. For this month, you're going to be reading "How Not to Be Wrong" by Jordan Ellenberg. And what are you on, chapter 3 now or 2?
I just read chapter 2.
Just read chapter 2. Okay, and I asked you to pick out 3 things from chapter 2 you thought were interesting. And what were they?
How to approximate the area of a circle. Talked about Zeno's paradox, and it talked about some infinite series.
Okay. Why don't you? I'll take the book. Why don't you explain what he was talking about with regard to approximating the area of a circle?
So if we have a circle with the used radius 1, this seems like a very simple problem because we know what pi is. And
what is the problem you're trying to solve?
just to find the area of the circle.
Oh, the area of the circle, okay.
It's a very simple problem because we know the formula, which is pi r squared, so this would be just the area would be pi.
Okay.
But for the ancient Greeks it was more difficult because their number system just used the differences between whole numbers.
Okay.
And so, like pi, since pi is an irrational number, it just sort of didn't make sense to them. And then also sort of another problem that didn't make sense was this right triangle, finding the hypotenuse of a right triangle with legs 1. And the hypotenuse is never rational.
Okay.
When these legs are rational. So how they tried to approximate it was, first you draw in some of these right triangles. Draw in 4 right triangles, you sort of make this square on the inside. And they knew how to find the area of these right triangles, so they had the formula for them. So each of these would have area 1/2.
Okay.
And so the whole area of this would be 2.
Right. Alright, got it.
Alright, and then what they did next is they drew a square on the outside. Something like this. And then, since you know that the radius is 1, the side length of this square would be 2.
Uh-huh.
And so the area of the outside square is 4.
Okay.
And since this square was entirely on the inside, you know that the area of the square is less than the area of the circle. And since this square is entirely on the outside, you know the area is greater than the area of the circle. So you know the area of pi is between 2 and 4.
Okay, yeah, that's a good argument.
And then essentially what you can do is just keep doing this for shapes with more sides. So they could do it for an octagon. And then eventually you'll sort of approach what the definition of a circle is if you use infinitely many sides.
Okay.
And then you'll find the exact area that way. And so that's sort of how the book arrived at the notion of a circle having infinitely many, infinitely small sides that were all straight. And that's, I think, where the title of the chapter comes from, straight, locally, curved, globally.
Oh, yeah. It probably does, actually.
It talks about things like this.
Cool. Did he say how good an approximation they were able to get for pi? Did they find something that was better than between 2 and 4?
Well, at least for an octagon, I think that would be better.
Okay. I might have this wrong. This is just in my memory. I think Archimedes found that pi was between 3 and 10 over 71. It's less than pi. Less than 3, 10 over 70s? I think.
Right. Didn't see that.
Didn't see that in the book. Okay, yeah, I think they were able to figure out it pretty close, because this is 3 1/7, or 22/7.
Yep, which is 3.142.
Yeah, 2857. Yeah. So this is a little bit bigger than pi. And I think this is a little bit less than pi. But hopefully I didn't get that wrong. In any case, we could check it on the calculator.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's talk about the units paradox.